Good morning, good morning. I thought about it today. It's a wonderful thing to start out singing. Who starts their morning singing besides in the shower? There's a lot of joy in singing, especially if you're by yourself and nobody's judging you. Because we certainly don't judge ourselves. Good morning, let's sing to each other. Let's say it out loud and with cheer. Good morning, I'm so glad we're all here. Let's sing it out loud with cheer. You goofballs! Somebody should be singing. Aaron, if I asked you to sing me a lullaby, which one would it be? Good morning to Larry B. Being Larry, I see. Good morning to Larry B. What's going on? Oh no. Good morning, nerds. Oh, geez, Dando. The opera. What would I be? Am I a tenor? Which one am I? I don't know. I know I'm terrible. Aaron, put me to sleep, would you? I bet Aaron could put any little baby to sleep with a cute little lullaby. I'm not doing lullabies in the morning, though, Cleanie. No way. I just woke up at that like 2 hours ago. You think I'm doing a lullaby now? Shroomatone. How about if you got in an elevator? Every time you got in an elevator, you would hear, "Hello, it's Pops, and I just wanted you to know you're going to have a wonderful day. Push number 9. I would avoid that elevator. Where are you? I would avoid said elevator. Laura, what button? Which floor do you have to get off on? Laura, which floor do you have to get off on? Real quick. Which floor? Push a button. I want Laura Devine to push a button. Okay, good Smurf song. Laura, what button are we pushing? What floor am I letting you off on? Click. I have a song for you. Come on, Laura. Number 4. Laura will stop at 4. We'll open the elevator door and let her out so she can explore a wonderful day at work. There you go, Laura. Just dropped you off at 4. Okay. Knock it off, Pops. Okay. That's how we start our mornings. Laura, we'll stop at 4. We'll open the elevator door so she can explore a wonderful day. Okay. I'm just trying to promote. I'm knocking it off right now. That's it. I'm over it. Good morning, Laura. Laura, we're at number 4. Here we go. Cleanie's getting off at 9. It's fine. When he pushes 9, we all know what it means. Cleanie pushes 9. It's so divine. Don't push any more elevator buttons right now. Okay? Leave it alone. Eagle King? There's an Eagle King in Kansas? I think there's an Eagle King in almost every state in the Union, but the Kansas Eagle Kings are special. Good morning. Mike. That is cool. Mike, where did you get that texting that text? Where'd you get that? That's cool. What the heck are you up to out there, Mike? Jesus heals, not to be rude. Good morning, Jesus. That's not the same Jesus as our Australian Jesus. Totally different Jesus. Different Jesus. So, if a cat committed a crime, somebody put Marin on timeout. Completely unacceptable behavior here. I'm modifying people's behavior. Who comes on, never been here before, and says stuff like that? Get out of here. Okay? We're looking to use our words for power and goodness. Okay? That's how we use them. Okay. How about if a cat committed a crime, you could catch it? Did you know that? Kitty cat crime, kitty cat crime. You know how? Guess how? Sarah, they have to go to the reflection pool. Remember the reflection pool was? You and I spent a lot of time there in our ute. In our utes. What a dork! Pops is a dork. I take that personally not. I don't care what you think. I care that I'm laughing. That's what I care about. You're a cat burglar. If you're a cat burglar, you get caught though. You know how? I never knew this before. A cat's nose is the same thing as a human's fingerprint. They're all unique. If the cat left a cat nose print, you can catch it. You'll be able to convict it through its nose print. Isn't that interesting, Pacers? Who knew? Kim knows everything about cats. Okay? Do me a favor and put "ha" on timeout, please. All right? So we play by rules here, buddy. So, cat nose print. We do cat nose prints, okay? When a cat microchips become useless, nose prints can be used to identify lost cats. Niffer, how many veterinarians have nose cat print files? How many? Like, what do? You go in there and there's like a whole filing cabinet and there's nose print? How do they do it? First of all, how do you get the cat's nose printed? You have to roll the ink roller on their nose and then smooch them onto something? Never. You've never heard of it before, right? How do you get the nose print and how do you save it? And is there like going to be a big database, you know how there is now for human fingerprints, right? They might have one for, what do they call that, CODIS, or what do they call that? But anyways, every cat's nose is an individual and unique print. I just don't know how in the world you're going to get the cat's print. Geez, I can't even get a cat to sit still to let me pet it without it trying to scratch my eyeballs out. I can't imagine if I just rolled a bunch of CODIS's DNA. Jonathan K knows that stuff. Jonathan K, of course. Jonathan K, hold it! Thank you, John. Which one is it for fingerprints? Which is it for fingerprints? Oh, Niffy, I like cats. I like cats a lot, especially like peaceful cats, not ones that are going to scratch your eyes out. Okay. We had a cat when I was young, when I was a kid, and the cat became my cat. Out of the 6 kids, I was more the animal person. Everybody liked our animals like when they were a little bit this big, but I ended up being the one that took care of them. They ended up sleeping with me. They ended up bonding with me. I ended up being the dog and cat whisperer. Everybody else pet him once in a while, and oh yeah, we have a dog, but it's his dog. It became my dog and my cat, which I didn't mind because I gave him tons of attention. Yeah, IFS is for fingerprints. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, IFS. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. CODIS is for DNA. Okay. APHIS for fingerprinting. Okay. Thank you guys. So we fingerprinted cats' noses, right? And oh, I was telling you about my cat when I was a kid. First of all, my dog. My parents used to be in a pool league. They played pool. My mom was a shark. She was one of the best. She actually won a women's invitational tournament in Los Angeles in the early 70s. She was like a pool shark lady. Now, my dad was really good too, but my mom was actually a better pool player. They were in pool league. That was instead of bowling, they would play pool, right? One night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I get woken up. My parents have come home from pool league night, and they've brought home a little puppy, little fella. He's a half-breed, half who knows what, and half German Shepherd. What do you want to name him? I said, can we name him 8 Ball? Because I knew my parents played 8 Ball pool. So our dog, coolest name I ever had a dog besides Ruff, 8 Ball. My dog, 8 Ball. And he was the smartest, strongest, neatest, best. My little puppy, 8 Ball. Who calls their dog 8 Ball? I did. So we had 8 Ball. I taught 8 Ball how to climb ladders. I'd put a treat at the very top of a ladder, 6-foot ladder. 8 Ball would climb the ladder, get his treat, and then climb back down. I could have turned that dog into a circus dog. He was amazing. 8 Ball. Then I had I had a cat. My cat's name was Kinky. Okay. He was so smart, it wasn't funny. He had a vocabulary of at least 25 words. I could individually say a word and he'd go do that word. Ruff has a pretty big vocabulary. I'd say Ruff has a vocabulary of about 10 words I could use on him. And he super well trained, super smart. But 8 Ball might have been smarter. 8 Ball was really something. And an athlete. He was just a born athlete, his little mixed German Shepherdness. Jay and Silent Bob, I like that. Silent Bob doesn't say much. Kinky. So my cat's name was Kinky. Now this is way before I knew anything about sex. I didn't know a thing about sex, so don't go getting Jesus Christ on me, okay? My cat's name was Kinky. And I'll tell you why. He was a mix. He was a regular cat, but then he had Manx in him. Do you remember what a Manx cat? Aren't they the cat that don't have tails? Like biologically? That's right, Paige. He had this, his tail literally looked like a lightning bolt. His tail looked like a lightning bolt. By far the ugliest tail you've ever seen, and he had a complex about it. Kinky had a complex. You could tell this cat didn't like his own tail. Okay? I'm sure he didn't care for his name that much either. Okay? But he has a little baby cat. He had this kink, and it just kept staying with him. He was the same guy. Kinky. So we had 8 Ball and Kinky were our main 2 pets growing up. Okay, you partake. Talk to Clean Grow. He knows all about it. So do a lot of people here, actually. Freddie, cool. Okay, Freddie. How about koala bears are going to have the same problem cats are. Koala bears are going to be having the same problem cats are. But they don't use their nose print. They have fingerprints just like humans. Each koala bear has an individual fingerprint, all their own. Like humans, koalas have fingerprints. In fact, they're quite similar to human ones. I still freak out at this kind of stuff, though, Sarah, because it's like, who printed 500 koala bears and compared them all and said, you know what? Not one of these 500 is the same. Who was in charge of that? Who was the original researcher for koala bear handprints? No, I get it, but how do I know unless I want like 5,000 prints, and then I'll be able to tell. Give me it has to be, you can't just do 3 or 4 hands and go, you know what, you're right, they're all different. Who did that research? I don't know. Koala bears. They even have the loops and the swirls and the ridges like us. Sounds more like a orangutan than a koala bear. So they were in a database and someone was like, hey, who databased it though? Who kept track? Every time I see a koala bear, I'm gonna give it a handprint. I don't know. Some of those, I like them. I like the rando facto, but I don't know. This is the final rando facto for today because we got to get to work. We have a lot of work to do today. We got to get to work. What do you think is one of the hardest materials in the world? Actually, according to this, what I'm going to tell you is these, I haven't told you what these are made from the strongest natural material on Earth. What is the most, let's just say it again so it's accurate. The strongest natural material on Earth. Natural material. Granite, diamond, spiderweb. Strongest natural. Carbon fiber, water, spiderweb, tinfoil hats, mycelium. Strongest natural. Boy, Mr. Phillips, you're all over it. Mr. Phillips is really, really close. Mr. Phillips, would you please move your desk to the front of the class? You're very close. The teeth of marine snails. A marine snail. The teeth of marine snail are so strong they clamp onto rocks and they grind them into dust as they feed. A snail grinds the rock into dust. And you're thinking, well, how does he do that? Well, because he's using teeth that are made from the strongest natural material on Earth. Ask Mr. Phillips. What the hell's going on in nature? What the heck? That's amazing, right? Green Table's out there. He's doing chemical analysis on this. I thought that was pretty neat. Hey, I got to tell you guys a couple of things, and we're going to go to mycology class. Oh. If you've been around psilocybin mushrooms a little bit, you know that there's a strain called, and I don't know about this name. It's always sort of bugged me. I got to be honest with you. It's always bugged me, but at the end of the day, it's an extremely potent shroom. And if you learn how to grow them, they're not the easiest strain, but you learn how to grow them, you get really satisfying results in terms of harvest, etc. And yeah, nerdy, PE. We're happy to just call it PE and pretend we don't know what the heck the rest of it means. Penis envy. Penis envy. There's a whole history on the guy that originally started out penis envy. I'm not going to go there for today. But penis envy. As much as I don't like talking about penis envy, I'm just going to say penis envy about 100 times here in the next 10 minutes. Okay? Penis envy. We here at our grow house specializing right now in old dirty penis envy. You'll see it, we always call it ODPE. An old dirty penis envy. It was a cross some time ago, and it took penis envy almost to a whole nother level. And because I've been working with that strain for almost 2 years now, I keep it simple. I keep working with strains that are working great. Listen, check this out. Where is this one? Here it is. Penis envy. I want you to recognize that in the four agreements and in the spiritual kind of discussions that we have every day, one of the things that we don't, is the fog of the world is envy. It's part of the world's envy is actually a very disgusting thing, because envy means it's the ultimate of selfishness. It's extremely selfish. To envy something, just go earn. Use a different four-letter E word. Just go earn. Earn what you're capable of earning. Guess what? You might be envious of such and such. I'll bet you if you go out there and try to earn, you'll probably do better than what you were envying. But to sit around and envy, I couldn't waste my time more. So here we are growing penis envies. Sad stories out of Austria. I feel like this guy might have had a little case of penis envy. You guys ready for this story? Who wants me to tell him a penis envy story? I need at least 5 people interested in a penis envy story. See, I told you I'm going to say it at least 100 times. Penis envy, penis envy, penis envy. Give me 5 people that want to hear a penis envy story. Yeah? You guys ready for it? Yeah? Okay, watch this one. Man amputates penis with an axe after consuming psilocybin mushrooms. So this is what you would call the ultimate case of penis envy. Okay? The ultimate case right here. This guy was so envious. Okay? Well, that took a weird turn. It's a true story. True story. I want you guys to be careful with what you're using out there. Okay? And another thing is set and setting. It's just a strong suggestion. If you haven't been on a mushroom trip in a while, put the axe away. Put the axe, like maybe leave the axe in the woodshed. Okay? Perhaps use a trip sitter. Okay? In an unprecedented case report, doctors in Austria have documented the first known incident. Thank God it's the first. Please let it be the only. The first known incident of psilocybin-induced penile amputation. Psilocybin-induced penile amputation. Audrey, I'm in Detroit. Okay? After consuming a large quantity, they don't tell us how large. I'd sure like to get somebody quantify large for me. After consuming a large, I'm not laughing at the man. I promise I'm not. I'm not making fun of him. As a matter of fact, it's very sad. I'm just trying to introduce humor because we're talking about penises out loud. Okay? And it makes me laugh. After consuming a large quantity of magic mushrooms, a 37-year-old man suffering from depression and alcohol abuse severed his penis with an axe. Fortunately, this guy was in a bad case. Depressed, I'm alcoholed out, I've overdone my shrooms, I've got a lot of penis envy going on. There's a sharp axe in the room. Come on, man. Come on. This is just getting rough in Austria. Okay, tried to circumcise itself. No. Okay, fortunately. No, oh, I pushed the wrong button. Wait. Fortunately. Stop it, Pops. I pushed the wrong button. Fortunately, doctors were able to reattach part of the amputated organ. Part. Which part? They were able to reattach part of the amputated, they use this word here, organ. Okay? This unique case is detailed in the Mega Journal of Surgery. They go on to tell a little bit more about the story, but I'm agreeing with Kim. I think alcohol might have had a great deal to do with that. Depression, anxiety. Would you guys watch just the tip? Kim, I hate that saying. Would you guys do me a big favor, gigantic, big, huge? Set and setting. Pay attention to your set and setting. Set and setting. Your mindset before you even get started. Pay attention to your mindset. I would say if you're in the middle of an alcohol depression, let's not throw shrooms on top of that. That's not what they were intended to do. And as a matter of fact, you make it a negative reaction. Okay? Whoa! There's a story I needed to tell you guys. And I'm not telling it to you to be a jokester as much as set and setting. This is an extremely sad story. You know, and of course psilocybin is going to get lumped into the causation of that. Could it be a part of it? Yeah, maybe. Who knows? So I'm not here to tell you, psilocybin had nothing to do with it. This guy was a wreck, and he was using mushrooms probably in the wrong way. I don't know, because I'm just giving an opinion. I don't have a lot of facts. I just have this. Okay? I wanted to play one more thing. And then we can get started with class. Okay, where is it?
People are attracted to you because they see the...
Here it is. Oh, Billy D. Billy D sent me a... Bill, you sent me a video. I forgot to download it. I'm gonna play you guys a great video from Billy. I'm making myself a note next Tuesday. Really good video. Also, let me just do this.
It's in the inside of you, and then they get around you and they try to...
Okay, let's just jump forward. Excuse me. Let's just jump forward. I have so much planned to do here today, and I'm like falling all behind. So let's get to work on mushrooms. We're growing mushrooms. Yesterday, as we left it, we were talking about the planning stages, right? The first thing you need to do is plan. Where are you going to get your stuff? There's only 3 major ingredients you need to get your first 20-day jump. 3 major ingredients. What are they? Remind me of what they are. What 3 major ingredients are you trying to get together, get it all together, and get ready to do your thing? 2 of them are really the first 2. The third one you can pick up pretty soon. What first 2 things do you need first? Nerdy, genetics, grain, and substrate. Nerdy, you move to the front of the class. Nerdy, you move to the front of the class. That's all you need. Genetics, grain, and substrate. And then somebody said, Penny Pack's right, jars. You want jars. Those are the 3 things, right? Actually, Penny, very good. You want some mason jars, you want the grain that you're going to use, and you want your syringe. You want your syringe. Okay? And your syringe is where we're going to get started. That's the first thing most people don't have. We don't expect you to have that. We expect to get that to you for the price of what it cost us to make it. So if you reach out to the DetroitMushLab.net, for $10, we can get you enough to start 5 pounds of grain. Okay? But that's liquid culture. Let's talk about this very quickly. People ask me, Pops, what's the difference between a spore syringe and a liquid culture syringe? Spore syringe, in 48 out of the 50 states in the United States, it's legal to buy spore syringes and transport them in the mail. And there's companies out there that are selling spore syringes. A spore syringe simply means that what's inside the media that's in the syringe, the 10 cc, and typically in our industry here, we're using 10 cc syringes. That's the typical. 10 cc, that's the size of the syringe. And if you reach out to some of these spore companies, the media that it's in, and spores. Spores, when you look at them, let me see if I have. Well, I thought I might have put a picture in here, but I didn't, but that's okay. A spore syringe, when you look at it, is going to look like a bunch of little flecks of black inside the water, the media that's in there. It's like a sugar water. It's not important what the media is made out of yet. Cover that on a different class. But the media, if you look at it, it's got these little pepper specks in it. Those are spores off of the mushroom. Those are legal to sell. No problem. It's not as legal. I'm just going to say it straight up. It's not legal to sell liquid culture. Somewhere along the line, the law drew a line, said between a spore itself, that little black speck, exhibiting no life whatsoever, and then we're going to take another one, and it's going to have a bunch of embryonic looking fluid in there, almost seminal fluid looking. If it reaches this point, it's already alive, and you're not allowed to sell it. So for full, it's not as legal. So for full disclosure, full honesty, understand, liquid culture, here's how we kind of get around it. No one has a clue what's inside that syringe. The law doesn't give a damn. I've never heard of one single person yet that has been prosecuted because they received liquid culture. And the good news about a receiver, when you order something, the good news about a receiver, if you're ordering it from a good guy, a reputable guy, he buries all of the evidence. All you have to do is say, somebody sent me a gift. I don't know anything about this. If they're knocking on your door and they're going to break it down and say, you're going to jail because you have a syringe of LC in your closet, you just say, you know what, somebody sent it to me and I don't even, I'm not even sure what it is. And it's just your risk at the receiving end is extremely low. But there's a risk still. So be aware of it. I hate that part. This is the part we're working against. Okay? And so there's a difference between the spore syringe. You can order those and have them safely. And then the liquid culture, make sure you're working with somebody reputable that's sending you something that's already growing and doing well. And that they work with you to make sure you don't have your ass hanging out there from an order. Okay? They told me it was mushroom seeds, but they didn't. I thought it was reishi. I thought it was reishi peanut mushrooms that I was getting. So the difference. Liquid culture, and we'll start. Do a little research to determine what strains you want to grow and order the syringes as the first thing you do. I'm going to briefly discuss the two types of syringes that we use in mycology to inoculate our grain spawn. The first we already discussed, the spore syringe. A multi-spore syringe is made up of spores that are suspended in a sterilized water media. Two spores that genetically match must meet, then germinate to begin their life cycle. Inside that little syringe, And or once you squirt that stuff onto your grain, two spores are going to end up matching and beginning their life cycle. Okay? A spore syringe will create a mycelium network that has a variety of genetics in it. That's why they call it multi-spore. You weren't sure. You're going to have a variety of different genetics inside that same, out of that spore syringe. So the pros of a spore syringe: has a long shelf life, longer than liquid culture. You just have some black pepper flakes floating around in the media last a lot longer than when it reaches the embryonic stage. Another pro is you do get diverse genetics. Some people want diverse genetics. And the third one is it's easy to use. The cons are it takes longer. If I were to inject liquid spore into my grain, it's going to take longer for it to catch and colonize than if I use liquid culture. Liquid culture is going to knock about 7 to 10 days off of the process, generally speaking, depending on the strength of the liquid culture you're getting. But so my liquid culture is going to give me a speed jump forward, okay? So a con to the spore syringe is it takes a little longer for a spore syringe to colonize. And the third thing is, because of the diverse genetics, when you're first getting your first fruits out of that particular syringe, you may not get huge yields. So what you'll end up doing, what we'll end up showing, is you'll pick the bigger shrooms out of that yield and then clone those, and now you start to clean and clarify the genetic strain that you're looking for. And you can continue to work with that genetic strain and grow it. Okay? Liquid culture syringe. A liquid culture syringe is a culture medium that contains small pieces of mycelium which have already germinated from spores, and they have already begun to grow. They grow in a nutritious liquid to feed and to expand. Okay? What are the pros of using liquid culture? Liquid culture can be selected for its specified genetics. Meaning if you're working, especially you're working with somebody that's doing it, there's one of our really good friends here, besides Sandman, R&R Shrooms. There's many of us, but they get off on it. This is one of their scientific funds. This is what makes their hobby so enjoyable and passionate to them, as they start really dialing down and cleaning up and making sure certain syringes that they have are ultra strong genetics for that strain. Okay? Mello, this book is online. It's on Amazon. This book is on Amazon. All right, it's just a teeny little manual. Super easy, super fast. Liquid culture can be selected for its specified genetics. It will also yield faster colonizations and typically much larger yields because you're already narrowing down the genetics and strengthening the genetics. The cons is they have a limited shelf life, especially if not refrigerated. So be careful on the shelf life on a liquid culture syringe. It's already growing. And if it stays in there growing in the media for too long, it actually starts to self-contaminate. Heat will contaminate it as well. It gets too hot. So we can stall it, refrigerate it, and it'll slow it down, pretty much stall it. You can refrigerate a liquid culture syringe typically maybe up to a month. After that, I don't think I would be using it. I think I'd go ahead and toss it and get another one. Okay? And if you are storing it in the refrigerator, put it in a sealed plastic bag. So liquid culture, and then the other con we already discussed. It's not as legal to use. Okay? So, any questions about liquid culture or about spore syringes. Mr. Phillips has a 1-year-old LC in a refrigerator. That's great. I mean it, seriously. I guess I just, in general, I typically don't order something or get it unless I'm planning on using it. So my shelf life estimations aren't very good. I'm not the guy to ask about shelf life. Okay? I can't imagine it sitting in a refrigerator for a year. It's going to be as strong as if we used it when it was fresh. But I'm sure there's still viability to it. Any questions? Pop, should you shake it? What are we shaking, King? What are we shaking? The mycelium inside the syringe? Absolutely. That's called agitating. When the mycelium inside a syringe or inside our LC jars, when we agitate it, it breaks it up, it causes more to grow. So to shake it a little bit, absolutely is okay. But like anything in the whole world, don't do too much of anything. So if you feel like shaking your liquid culture syringe once or twice a day, it's not a bad thing. It'll help it grow. Any other questions? Liquid culture, spore syringe questions only. We'll cover everything else as we go. Liquid culture. When you receive clear, how soon do you use it? I wouldn't, if I ordered something, I plan on using it within the next 2 weeks. Generally within a week. So when you receive spore syringes, you can hold on to those, refrigerated those, for a much longer than liquid culture. I would say a couple of months. But truthfully, I'm not the greatest guy on shelf life. If I order something, I plan on using it. And it's in my cycle. Like I know how long it should take for it to get here, give or take, and I plan it. So when I get it, I'm like, yep, I can use it. Can liquid culture still be used in Uncle Ben's bag? Absolutely, King. 100%. It'll do the same thing as a spore syringe, but it'll do it a little bit faster. Okay? Spore syringe and a liquid culture syringe do the same thing. Liquid culture will do it a little bit faster. Because you're already, I'm going to say this, I hope I'm not sounding rude to people. I compare it to a spore syringe is starting with one little sperm, and the sperm hasn't really found a friend and an egg and started its thing. A liquid culture, it's already an embryo. It's already an embryo, man. It's almost got legs. It's ready. So you pop that onto some grain, and you're already running. That was a big deal. 4 years ago, you couldn't find liquid culture online. You couldn't. It's a whole burgeoning industry. And then there's a lot of people. I knew a guy out there, not one guy. There was a series of guys, West Coasters. I remember this guy was a liquid culture sales guy online. And everybody always started buying from this guy until he had about a $800 order. That $800 order, he sent out water to everybody and he disappeared. Closed his page, closed his website, disappeared. $800 worth of water. So you got to be careful. It's one of the easiest, it's one of the biggest ripoffs. It could be a real big ripoff. And especially back then when you finally found somebody that could sell liquid culture or would sell liquid culture, it was the same thing with plates, colonized plates. You couldn't find a colonized plate to save your life. You had to be the best friend of the best friend of the best friend of the best friend. And then you had to owe 3. It's crazy. Now liquid culture, there's a profundity of it out there, and I need you to be careful because it's not all good stuff. Okay? You'll spend all this time, money, you couldn't wait for it to get there, you squirt it on your grain, 4 days later you start seeing everything's turning green. You're like, was it me or was it the syringe? Let's go to the next step. I'm gonna that's as far as we're gonna go today. Tuesday we'll start talking about grain preparation. I've been showing pictures online my IG page of some grain preparation we're doing over at the Detroit Grow House. We've prepped 200 pounds of grain this week alone. 200 pounds of grain. This is 1 pound. This is 1 pound. We have 200 pounds of grain. And I think we're running on my last autoclave on it today. Grain's a good one because if you seal it correctly after you've prepped it and you've set it to the side, I don't have a problem knowing that my grain is sitting there ready for me to inoculate it. And for about 3 to 4 weeks, I can count on that grain being good. Now, we plan on using it much quicker. I wouldn't make 200 pounds so it would sit on a shelf. That's not our goal. I make 200 pounds so we can use it. But grain is one of those things that you can make a little bit in advance. Okay? Lisa Simpson, I don't do spores, but we do liquid culture. Lisa Simpson, if you reach out to me at the Detroit, I'm talking to Lisa and Lisa only. I've never seen Lisa before. Lisa, the DetroitMushLab.net. Go over to the DetroitMushLab.net and look at some of the liquid culture we have over there. Pick one and write to me an email. Say, this is the one I want, Pops. And I'll send it to you. Sandy and I will send that to you. Okay? I also want to give away a book. Let me give away a book right now. Who's going to get a book? I'm going to send you a book, and I'm going to send you a pack of 20 microdose capsules along with this book. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Go. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Lisa, I expect you to get your address to us, and we'll get you a free liquid culture of your choice. Scrazzy. Boy, you guys are all saying 44. We had a Scrazzy, we had a Mellow, we had a Mike Baraball. But Scrazzy, you're the first one on my screen. Scraz, 44. 44 it is. By the way, that's Pop's angel number, 444. I love 44. That was my number in racing, 44. That's my number. Scrazzy, I'm going to send you this book. I need your address at the DetroitMushLab.net. You're going to scroll to the bottom of that. You're going to see an email place. You're going to hit that. You're going to send me your address, and we're going to send you a Pop's 10-step manual and 20 microdose capsules. Okay? If you guys stick around here today, I'm going to give away another book and some more capsules. All right? And that was all Enormous's idea. Enormous said, Pops, why don't you give away some books? And I said, what a great idea. And then he sent us some contribution money so we could do it. So books that are, these books are coming from Enormous. Okay? Just he and I together are making sure it happens. The combination. So Enormous, be thanking Enormous for, first of all, what a great idea of his. And between the two of us, we're making it happen. We're going to get some books into 2 or 3 books. I mean, come on, let's get some books out there. Speaking of books, let's open up our book. This is one of the saddest parts of my week, when I know that I'm about to do my final reading of the 4 agreements with my tea crew for the week. I like doing 4 agreements with us together. I like it because it reminds me, every time I say something to you guys, I'm actually saying it first to me. I mean that. Like I'm my own student. I'm my own physician. I can teach myself. I can heal myself. Especially when I'm open. Especially when my brain is fertile for good. That's one of the reasons I sing in the morning. You know how easy it is to start your morning off like not looking forward to the day? That first cranky cup of coffee? Birds never wake up in the morning cranky. I don't know if that's true, but it doesn't seem like it. Seems like when animals wake up in the morning and stuff, they sing. There's joy. They're probably just glad they woke up another day. They sing. They're joyed. They're filled with joy. So I try to be nature. I truly, honestly do. And one of those things, I'm not even forcing myself to sing anymore. There was a minute I'd actually have to force myself to sing. You better sing this. You know what? Singing is good for my soul. You know what else is really good for me? Might be good for you. Zany. Just say the word. It's a fun word to say, Waz. Waz is zany. Just look at his son's name, Choop Troop. How zany can you get? Zany. Say the word to yourself. Out loud, even say it. Zany. There aren't enough words that start with a Z. Zebras and zany. Say the word zany. I mean it. Please, please, please. Say it. When you say zany, you almost have to be zany. Who says zany and they're mad? Like, I'm absolutely zany right now. You're not. You can't be. Zany means you're like, zany isn't mad. Nippy, yep, you are zany. You're pretty zany. I like that word. What if we named our kids that? Come here, Zany. Because my favorite name for a girl, true story, Zoe. Freaking love that name, Zoe. If I had a little girl, I'd name her Zoe. I've said that half my life now. I don't know why. She needs to be a little Zoe. And then when I'm mad at her, I don't call her Zoe, I call her Zoto. Zoe. Zoe could be zany. Okay? I don't know why I like that name. Have your mind to be fertile for goodness and kindness. You can start out in the morning. You set the tenor for your day. You wake up, you make your bed. You've already kept your first agreement. Your first agreement's to be organized, to have something sweet and made and done, and you actually have something to look forward to at night, a made bed. It's so much nicer for me to go to bed and pull a cover back than go to bed and jump in to a bunched up quilts left over for a day, stale pile of quilts. That's just me. But there's also a part of it is I've already, just by making my bed in the morning, I've literally started my day with an accomplishment. And it took what? It took a minute and a half? In my case, it takes almost nothing because I fall asleep on my couch all the time. It takes folding up a blanket and putting a sheet away. But when I'm in beds, make them immediately. You start your day out fresh. You know you're going to end your day fresh. You're going to go back to bed, to a made bed, not a crumpled up old mattress that you didn't even care enough about to make. And you're one of the 10% of the people in the world that even own a mattress. It's not important to me what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. Page 50 in our book, we're on the second agreement. Don't take things personally. This is a lot of power. When you're practicing this and you're doing it well, this is a lot of power. What gives you the ability to practice this is by being impeccable with your word in the first place. So you know that you're not guilty of the things that somebody may attack you with personally. You're above the guilt. You're already floating on impeccable. It's a great place to float, folks. It's a great place to float because you're free. You're free of all the bullshit. You're free of all that condemnation, and especially the self-condemnation. You're already, I made my bed. I'm doing my stuff this morning just like I planned. I'm being impeccable. Imagine how proud of yourself you get. And when you keep a constant pattern of that, it's not even discipline anymore. It's character. It becomes part of your character as you practice it. As you practice it, you become, do I like this new me that practices this, or do I like the other me that practiced that? If you honestly like the other you that practiced that, go back and practice it. Because at the end of the day, that's what's important, is that you're okay, that you're filled with self-love. If your other actions gave you more self-love, keep doing them. If you need more self-love, practice some of these things that will bring them to you. One of the greatest ones, don't take things personally. You're not that important. I am not that important. If there's something, somebody's flaming off, flailing, whatever, that is about them. Kim, last thing she said yesterday before we left. It's one of the best things in the whole world. What you think about me is none of my business. It's the same thing. I don't ask you how much money you make. That's almost like a social thing. You don't do that. I don't ask ladies how old they are. You don't do that. I don't mention ladies' weight to them. You don't do that. I did once, and I lost a job for it. I was a secretary. I was a group. I was running a customer service operation. And there was this one girl, and she was struggling with her weight. And all she talked about to all the other girls was her weight. Weight, diet, this, that, that. One day, one time, it's a true story. I was working for a cabinet company. I was young. I had her in my office. And I said something to her. I go, I gotta be honest with you, whatever her name is. Mandy, whatever. I gotta be honest with you, you've been looking really good. Like, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You look great. That afternoon, HR wants you in its office. Investigation. You are improperly talking to girls about their body images. This is like 25 years ago. By the end of the investigation, it was just literally a true story. I'm not trying to act like I'm innocent. I mentioned that she looked good because she had been losing weight. And they thought, you know what? We can't keep you on that job anymore. We're going to let you go. I was saying every bit of the intention was beautiful. Everything was there. You got to watch it. There are certain things you can't say. You can't. She took it personal. She took it personal. Like I don't know. Be aware. Be aware of the things that you say could be taken personal too. It's not always just about you. It's about the things that you say, the power that they have, and how they can be taken personal. And you're not even aware sometimes of the power of your word. It's not important what you think about me, and I don't take what you think personally. I don't take it personally when people say, this is the author, Miguel, you're the best. And I don't take it personal when they say, Miguel, you're the worst. Miguel, you're an angel. But when you're mad at me, you'll say, Miguel, you're an idiot. You're a devil. The same people, same mouth, will praise you and will shred you. Same mouth, same person. How serious are you going to take either one of them? How much power do you give to either of those, to anybody that has the power to do that? Just knowing that you're dealing with someone that has the power to do either makes me already know I'm not going to take anything they say personal, good or bad. Mark Z, I was just thinking about you. Glad you're here. Either way, it does not affect me because I know what I am. I know I made my bed this morning. I know I kept my word. I know I didn't hurt anybody's feelings yesterday. I certainly didn't mention anybody's weight to them yesterday. I certainly didn't do anything that would have put me in a place that would have caused somebody else to not feel okay. I wasn't a causation for that in any way. As a matter of fact, I can look at my yesterdays and so far as today and say the exact opposite. I know who I am. I know what I'm practicing. I know what good it does. One of the ways I know what good it does is because you guys are so kind yourselves. You send us letters to tell us. I don't have a need to be accepted. Ooh, that's a tough one. My one little baby ego in here is going, but yes, you do. And then I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have to be accepted. You're perfect just the way you are. Little baby ego, no, but you kind of do. Come on, you admit it. You kind of. The healthiest me doesn't need to be accepted. When I say need, I enjoy acceptance. But the need part is what we're talking about. Need changes it all. Need makes me do things that are outside of my human nature, my own nature. Need makes me start missing the mark. When I'm in need, my shots aren't as straight. I start doing wacky shit because I need. When I just am, when I'm just accepted or not, that's really just a comfortable place. I'm not in need. It's the hugest part of the difference. Doesn't say we can't love it to be accepted. Don't need it. The need's the part that they taught you. The part that they haven't taught you is how to be happy right where we are. And the happy comes from inside because you know you're being impeccable. Your self-image is pretty good. It's pretty healthy. I would look at a Mark Zamarin this morning. How could his self-image not be good? Strung a series of days together, working against a mental health issue that's probably been plaguing him for a long time, and day after day after day showing a success. Day after day. Got to be proud of himself. Got to be proud. Got to say it's worth trying this again for one more day. This feels a lot better than it felt like 60-something days ago. I have 35 years. Going on 36. I'm proud of that. People that were as deep into the game as I was died or spent the rest of their life in prison. I get to be here. God, I got goosebumps running up and down my leg right now. I got goosebumps running up and down my leg. I don't have a need for someone to tell me how good I am. Feels good when they do. I don't mind it. I welcome it, but I don't need it. What I need is to keep doing what I'm doing because it feels so good to my own nature. 16 months tomorrow, J.W. Olin, you are the man. You are the man. That's fantastic. Those are strings of successes, people. Those are strings of successes strung together day after day after day after day. First started out tough. Now, it's like it feels better. It feels better. I could sit in a room with a mountain of white cocaine, a white mountain, and you couldn't get me to touch it. I'd feel better without it. It tried to destroy me. Golden, I'm not telling you where the room is. No, you don't get to go. You know, other people are going to have their opinion about you, about me. That guy's full of it. Come on, look at this old man. It's just, look at him wearing a coat. A lot of people have their opinions. Other people, oh, he's the greatest thing. He's top notch. He's this, run for president, that. Those are everybody's opinions about me. I'm not here for people's opinions about me. I'm here because my nature says if I can teach, I can grow. If I can grow, I should teach. Do you get it? That's my nature.
I like that.
Yeah. That's my nature. If I can teach, I can grow. If I can grow, I should teach. I should not just teach how to grow. I should teach how to grow. Just give you my experience. I don't take it personally. Whatever you think, whatever you feel. Got a ton of people saying good morning, Brock. I don't take it personal. Whatever you think, whatever you feel. I know it's your problem, and it's not mine. It's the way you see the world. It's nothing personal. Because you're dealing with yourself, you're not dealing with me. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their own belief systems. So, nothing they think about me is really about me. It's based off of their experiences and their belief systems and their programming and their domestication. And when I see people through that lens, their opinion about me doesn't matter, but compassion for them flows. I still want to care about them no matter what they think or feel, because I have no idea what they've gone through to get where they are right now. And if they're like most human beings, they're probably hurting. If I can serve them, wouldn't matter what their opinion of me is. I still want to serve. Opinions change too. Some people might say, hey, what you're saying is kind of hurting me. But it's not what I'm saying that hurts you. It's the wounds inside you that I touch that could hurt you. The wounds inside of us are what's actually getting hurt. The less wounded I am inside, the less opportunity I have to be hurt. Does that make sense? Physician, heal thyself. If I'm not wounded inside, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to feel the hurt that comes from somebody else. You're hurting yourself. When you're hurting yourself, I don't take that personally. I actually feel bad. When somebody's gossiping out there, I used to like those son of a bitches gossiping about me. Now I look at a gossiper and say, I wish you understood how much you're destroying your own soul, let alone the person you think you're talking about, because you don't know them. That's how I look at it now. I'm not kidding. Not, oh, I'm a saint now, I look at things different. As I grow, as I look at things differently, it's not even, it's, and again, most of the time I also will give the grace. Forgive them, they know not what they're doing. They didn't sit down and they haven't been re-domesticated. They haven't thrown off the shackles of that old domestication yet. They're still foggy. If there's anything I could do, instead of taking it personal, it would be better if I could find a way to clear some of the fog. Give me 5 people that agree with that. We're almost done for today. Instead of taking it personal, would we be better if we could find a way in kindness to help clear some of the fog? That would be a lot better than taking it personal. Nuri, your smile clears fog. Niffer, you clear fog by just being kind and good. Clear the fog instead of taking it personal. We weren't taught that. We were taught to scud each other. Throw a bomb. That'll fix it. Bleed them out. Oh my God. So that's where the compassion for me comes in. I'm so much better off being compassionate than taking things personal. I'm so much better finding out, is there something that's really hurting you? What can I do? You must be really hurting. But you can't attack a person like that. They're saying something, oh, you must really be hurting. Look at it. That, you're just putting fuel on the fire. There's a different way to approach it. There's a way to approach it with the kindness of somebody trying to hold a baby deer in their hand, or the softness. You have to be soft. You have to be sweet. You have to be caring. Exhibit the caring that's truly your nature. Say, man, if there's something hurting you, let's work on that. Let's forget this emotional stuff that we're spewing. Let's work on that. How can we work on that? Can I work out with you? Let's do a workout. Let's read stuff together. Why don't you go with me over to the old ladies' homes and we'll sing songs. And this is a real way to live a life. That's a real way to live a life. Versus the life of you're just out there fighting it and climbing it and squashing it and stepping on it and feeling it. If you're living a life of service, it's harder to take things personal because you understand everybody needs to be served. Wherever they're at, whatever their mindset is, wherever they're coming from, you don't get to pick and choose who you'd serve. That's kind of creepy. I'm only going to serve the people that have $100,000 in the bank. I'll serve the heck out of them. I'm only going to serve the poorest of the poor. Really? Just a guy with $100,000 in the bank needs more service than one of those poor guys. Don't decide who you're going to help and who you're not going to help. Don't be a respecter of persons. Be a respecter of service. Well, I don't really like that guy. Still needs to be served. We'll talk a little bit more next week about not taking things personal. And the biggest message for this week, the biggest takeaway is to please be of service and have a brain and a spirit that's willing to do that. And the first and most important person to serve, we all know it here, we're ready to say it. Who's the most important person we serve? Ourselves. If we're healed and we're physicians and we're doing a good job of working on healing ourselves, we know we have the power to heal others. How we heal others is through our actions, and the power of our words. That's how we do it. I've always wanted to be a physician. I always wanted to be a doctor, but I don't like blood. So, I'm a different kind of doctor, and I'm still a physician. You're all physicians. You're all saints. You're all healers. It's just how much of your power are you using? How much of your power are you using? And it's actually fun when you start to feel how powerful you are. Really, I can change this person's life for the good? Really? Who? Where? Let me meet them. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Give me a number between 1 and 50. I got to give a book and some capsules away. Give me a number between 1 and 50. Okay? I want to see 3 numbers on a line at one time. Give everybody a chance. Give me a number between 1 and 50. I want to give one of my books away and some capsules. Give it to me. The Wazzer, 18. Waz, I don't think I've ever sent you one of my books. 18 was the answer. 18, let me show you. 18 was the answer. The Wazzerton. If you, listen, who was it? Scrazzy and Wazzy. If you guys, when you send me your addresses, if you tell me what you'd like, I will autograph the inside right here with the most valuable autograph that you'll get in the next 7 minutes. Okay? So if you want it autographed, just tell me what to write. Because some people want their actual name, other people want their screen name, whatever. But this is literally the most valuable autograph that you will see or even have an opportunity to get in the next 7 minutes. Okay? So feel free to ask. I'm giving that away for free. All right? To Scrazzy and to Waz. And next week, we'll be giving away some more books. Okay? As we work our way through how to grow mushrooms. If you guys need syringe information or syringes, etc., reach out to the website and Sandy will take care of you. Anything else? Gosh darn, it's 10:20. It gets here so fast. It used to be 10, we'd have to quit. Then I stretched to 10:15. Now I'm stretched to 10:20. One of these days, it's going to be about 11:30 and I'm going to actually leave. Go have a great weekend, you guys. I love you and thank you for helping me grow. Thank you for being part of my growth process. And I've said enough. Have a great weekend. Be impeccable. Put on that coat of immunity. Niffer Mama and Unofficial and J.W. Owen. J.W. Owen, listen, go on Amazon. Amazon has these books for sale. And we make about $3 or $4 off of each book, and it goes to our nonprofit organization. Okay? So on Amazon is the book. Red Boy, there you are. Wazzy, free. Bendito Suavecito. Mark Zamarin, there he is, SSW. Nerdy, Suavecito. Unofficial, Nipper. Joe D's, there you go. Nerdy Sharon M, there you go, Sharon. Nippy and Green Tables, I love me some Greenie. Exception and Billy D and Marky Z and Sarah Bear and Jesus Christ and Sharon the Sharkerton. And, Simplex, Pacers, love it, Nippy, Melody. I do yes, P.O. boxes work, Melody, no problem. SSW, Pilar, Anthony Tatum, Clean Grow, Marky, Buddy, Nerd, Sarah Bear, you be fantastic. Shine and Cat Meowzilla and JC, stay out of the chicken cage. I don't know what that means, but I will. Mike and Joe D's and Aaron and Laura Devine. And she's incredible. incredibly divine. Unofficial and Clean Girl and Exception and Billy D and Hit Me Out Kitty and Neo Simplex on Unofficial and JW Owen Upside Down. Jesus Christ, Wazzy 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 Waz. Bandita Hola, Paige, Fiji Page, Billy D. Alex, thank you. We don't talk about him. Jesus Christ, Kimberly, Trent, Mike Ball, Mark Z, Pacers, Jonathan K. All day, every day, in the day, out of the day, Jonathan K, Shine, Mellow, Jesus, Rogie, Joe D's, Pilar, Hit Me Out, Kitty, Ben, wherever, Jesus Christ, Melody, Don, Michael, P, Patter, Shanti, Alex, 5280 all day, Sharon, Joe D's, Mark Z, Unofficial, Jesus Christ, Melody, Don, Unofficial, a Blue Whale, poof, right out of the whale hole, Shine, go Shine, Pops, peace, love, be impeccable, don't take things personally, have no expectations, and do your best. If you guys are doing your best, I'll see you here next Tuesday. Out.